Hi, welcome to Paranormal Kativity. You may have seen my video about Robert the Haunted Doll or Annabelle the Haunted Doll, but have you ever heard of Mandy? She's a little lesser known, but still super creepy, and I wanted to share her story with you. There's a kind of weird origin story of how she was found, and some say that parts of it are true and parts of it aren't, or that all of it's true, or that all of it's been made up. But the story that I found that seemed to be the most circulated was that there was an older man walking around outside in the winter. He started to hear a baby crying from a house that was abandoned. It freaked him out. He decided, hey, I'm gonna go in this house and find this baby. So eventually he made his way to the basement where he still was hearing the baby crying, but once he actually entered the room, the sound stopped and he discovered the body of a young girl, and she was holding this doll. After that happened, of course, police came to remove the body, but the doll itself remained in that house, and the new owner became the owner of Mandy the doll. The owner was named Miranda, and she started experiencing the sound of a baby crying in the basement. And every time she'd make it to the basement, the sound would stop. The only other experience she really had was sometimes while the crying was happening and she'd be going downstairs. By the time she came upstairs, some of the windows in the upper levels of the house would be open. After having this happen numerous times, she decided to donate the doll to a museum. They did research and found out that the doll was created somewhere between 1900 and 1920. The doll itself was received by the museum in 1991, so already it was a very old doll by that time. As soon as she donated the doll, the crying stopped in her house and she didn't have any more paranormal activity at all. Now, on the first night they received the doll, they tend to receive a lot of different varied objects at this museum, and if it's made of cloth or some other kind of porous material that bugs might infest, they have a procedure where they would keep the item in a plastic bag overnight. That way it would drive out any of the bugs. The doll was placed in this bag overnight, didn't have any bug infestation or anything else, but the person who was working in the museum that night claims to have heard rustling coming from the bag, like the doll was moving. Mandy, the doll herself, has a doll of her own. It's a little baby lamb, and on some of the first nights that she was there, she'd be placed in her display case, and the lamb, the next morning, would be on the floor outside of it. Then a lot of the staff members started experiencing things as well. It started with walking by and hearing tapping from the display case, and when they would turn around, her little hand would be up against the glass when she was not posed like that before. They started to hear footsteps and other movement coming from the area where she was kept. Some of the people working actually claim that she will move display cases in the night. She'll be put in one, and in the morning she'll be in another. And if you put her in a display case with another doll other than her little toy lamb, some say that she will harm the other doll in the case, so she has to be in solitary doll confinement. She also likes to throw tantrums, according to the staff. She is known to take papers and things from desks and just toss it all over the room. She likes to make objects disappear and sometimes reappear, sometimes not. Usually it's like office type items, books, pens, pencils, things like that. Sometimes she'll even move pictures or other items that are on display. She also likes to pull pranks on the staff members, so sometimes they will put their lunch in the fridge and they'll find it in their desk drawer or a random place around the museum where it definitely was not kept before. Sometimes when people get around her in her case, they have a feeling of sadness or uneasiness, and they'll sense that sad, uneasy feeling and actually go get her out of her case and carry her around like a baby while they finish their duties at the museum, or even sit her in their lap while they do desk work. If you go visit Mandy the doll, you might also experience some things. She is known to have some tricks and things that she plays on visitors to the museum as well. Some people note that her eyes seem to follow you around whenever you're in the museum, or that you'll even catch her blinking. There are also people who say pictures of her won't turn out at all. They'll just be completely blank or blurred. Or they'll have light anomalies or weird unexplainable things in the image. She's also known to play with electronic equipment. Now this could be things in the building, like turning lights on and off, but it also affects the patrons of the museum where their cameras will just stop working, go off completely, drain batteries. Very common things with paranormal activity. The doll itself supposedly was created in either England or Germany, but nobody really knows the true origin of this doll. Have any of you guys ever been to see Mandy the doll? If you have, or if you've gotten any of these weird pictures of her, let me know. I want to see them. I want to go visit her so bad. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed learning about Mandy the doll today. If you guys have any other favorite haunted dolls, tell me about them and maybe I'll make a video about one in the future. Have a great rest of your day and I'll talk to you next time.